This is the brand new Zoom H8 handy recorder, but how is it different from its predecessor, the H6? We're going to take a look at the two of them and see exactly what the H8 has to offer. Now, I'm not going super in depth with this video. There's loads of videos out there that go really in depth with the H8. I'm more interested to look at how it's different from the H6 because it's kind of a natural upgrade that you might go from the H6 to the H8. If you're already using the H6, it's going to be good to know what the H8 has to offer and how it is better suited to you than maybe the H6 is. Now, I've already done a video on the 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6, comparing all them. This is looking at the H and the 6 and comparing them. So let's get straight into it, no messing around, and let's look at the XLR inputs. So I've taken them both out of the box. Looking at the inputs, the H6 comes with 4 XLR/jack inputs. The H8 comes with 2 XLR/jack inputs and then 4 XLR inputs, taking it to a total of 6 inputs when the H6 only has 4. But what Zoom does do is they have these amazing things that they call capsules. And what the capsules are is a range of different microphones and attachments that literally just click on like that, and you have the ability to add these extra things. So the H6 and the H8 both come with these free attachments, these XY microphones, which have the ability to change the polarity field from 90 degrees to 120 degrees, which is very cool. The H6, you can get an attachment which adds 2 XLR inputs, taking your total inputs to 6 inputs. The H8 comes with an attachment with 4 XLR inputs, taking your total input to 10. So for a portable handy recorder, you get 10 inputs, which is mind-bendingly cool. The H8 is also bringing out a whole new bunch of these capsules. And one of them is a 360D recording VR kind of thing, which is very, very, very cool. And each of the inputs, including the 4 XLR attachment, each comes with its own gain knob and pad switch. Now, Zoom do say on the advert 12 tracks of recording, which is a little deceiving because you can record like your 10 individual tracks and then a stereo mix of all of those tracks together, totaling in 12, but really it's 10, so 10 tracks of recording with a stereo mix also. So the chassis on the H8 is very similar to the H6. It's got this, it's made out of this like plastic, but very sturdy, even though it is plastic. We have a 3.5mm jack. There is an on and off switch, exactly the same as the H6, but we do have this USB micro port here. Now what that does is allow you to plug in a power bank, for example. So if your batteries run out, you can power it from like a power bank, and it will automatically change over to that power bank. So it's not going to turn itself off and then power back up. It will just instantly go over, and you won't lose. You could be recording and you won't lose anything, which is very, very cool. Also, what you can do is say you can plug it into a computer and you can use this as an audio interface. That allows you to plug this into your computer and just record like you would at home with any of your other audio interfaces. Another thing that you might be able to notice is that it has a line out, and not just that, you can change the level of the output via this touch screen. It has its own dedicated section for your line out, which is very, very, very useful if you want to adjust that and not just rely on the automatic line out volume. Before I look at the internal menu screen and everything, the last thing to mention on the outside is this little input here. And what that is that allows you to plug in a Bluetooth device, and then you can run the H8 via your phone. Unfortunately, it's iOS only. There is nothing for Android yet. I'm sure that will be coming. And that means you can just run it from your phone. You can download the app, press record, stop, all the usual functions, and that just gives you another function, another ability if you want to do that. So looking at the kind of internals of it, going into the menu, I think what Zoom have tried to do is they've looked at creators and they've looked at the way the world's gone, and they've tried to make it simple. So you've got like a podcast section, a music section, and a field section. Podcasting is podcasting, music is like going and recording music. And then field, in the advert, they kind of say it's like Foley stuff, you know, like in the field, which is cool, you know, and I quite like those sections. For me, it's always going to be really in that music section. I don't podcast, I don't do Foley, but each of those sections offers a bunch of different things. So for example, in the podcast section, you have like, you can load in like samples, and then you can like press the tabs, the buttons, and it will have like clapping, or will have like sound effects, you know, whatever you really want to put in there. I should mention that it's a touchscreen display, which is going to suit some people. Maybe if you've got sweaty fingers and you're trying to mix, it could be a bit of a nightmare. It may not be great. And with touchscreen, you do have the ability for things to go wrong, but it's a cool feature, and being able to like move the sliders up and down with your fingers is going to be useful. I think as long as you can still use the controls, then that's, you know, that's kind of cool. And then in the field section, it has its own little benefits in there as well. So I do quite like that as a feature. I think it's going to suit some people, and it's not going to suit others. Other things to mention is it is running 24-bit 96K. I think they're built well. We use the H6 a lot here, and I've used the H5 out doing video projects. And I like both of them. For me, one tiny gripe, and even it's a gripe for the H6 as well, what the H5 has is like a bar that goes across the control knobs, and when you're like out recording, it just prevents you from ever like knocking those dials, and I would have liked to have seen that on the H8. However, they are really sunken in. You know, it would be quite hard to actually move them, so that is fair. They are deeply set. I don't know if you can see that, and they are a little bit smaller actually than the H6. They got to cram more on, I guess. All in all, I really like it. I mean, in the advert, you know, when you see everyone plugging in, and I'll link to the advert. There's the official Zoom advert. People say it looks like a spider. I totally get that. It could be an eyesore. But then these things are never going to be seen. Like, these things are meant to be, you know, they're audio recording devices. They're not meant to be seen. They're functional. It feels good in the hand. I'm digging it. I mean, I haven't used it enough to give it a full-on, you know, yearly like longevity review. But it feels good. It works well. It's functionable. And with the new capsules, like the VR one, which is 360 degrees. And the one where you can plug in 4 more inputs, and you now have a 10 input recording device. Why wouldn't you like that? So I think it's a really great upgrade from the H6. And let's talk about price. It's only coming in at like 80 quid more than the H6. So for like 80, 100 pounds more, you're getting 4 more inputs, really. Which is very, very cool. If you were going to buy one of these right now anyway, because of price, I'd be buying this, because you're getting so many more inputs, so much more versatility. It's newer and it's only a little bit more. Saying that, the H6 is solid as nuts, and if you only need 4 inputs or 6 inputs, then go for that. Like, again, whenever I do these, and I did the 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6, and the biggest thing that I took away from that is it depends what you want it for. Some people are going to want just want to record with the H1, and some people are going to need the H8. With that, you could go and record an orchestra, pretty much. You'd be pushed on the H6, but you could probably do that as well. But with the H1, the H2N, the H4, you're not going to be able to. So it depends what you want. I think Zoom are, you know, they're making great products for great prices. We've never had a problem really with our H6 that we use here a lot. I'm in. Digging it, but I want to know what you think. Have you used, I mean, I imagine a lot more of you have used this than have used this, but even if you've used the H2, I want to know your opinions on Zoom and what you think of their products and what you think of the H8. If you have used it, what are the problems? What are the advantages? Let me know in the comments box below. If you've enjoyed this video, give us a like, give us a thumbs up, and yeah, so I will see you very soon for another video. And take it easy. Last little thing to mention, because we get this question a lot, does Zoom recorders work with the Shure SM7B, because everyone's using that for podcasts, for commercial use, for radio. It does. We've done tests. I've seen a few tests online. You don't need cloud lifters. It works perfectly fine. There's no noise or anything. They work really well with the SM7B. So just a little add-on there for you.